Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a diamond, high diamond, this is like 3400 Winston. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. If you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all that good stuff. Okay. Feel like I'm not getting sound as I'd like from that side. Okay, that's fine. So,
make defeat an impossibility in your mind. How disappointing.
okay. Here we are. We are looking at some Winston. Hey, Woofers. Hey, Celeste. You just finished watching the Gator Owl review. Nice. So you're paired up with a hog here, which does make things difficult.
Defend objective A.
Immediately slept. Should we really have rounded this corner? Maybe not, but that's okay. Rotating high ground. Mostly staged with it, reasonable HP. Now, Soldier's going to be hard to jump from here. I understand what you're trying to do, but you're going to take too much chip damage on the way in. He's bad. So this jump arc doesn't really work for you because of this roof. Like, I totally get what you're going for here. Of, hey, I'm going to jump up here, then from here I've got some cover, then I'll go here and I'll jump on the Soldier, and that's good. But the problem is Soldier can turn to you really fast. He can do pretty good damage to you on the way in, and you do have to walk a bit to get rid of this roof thing in the way, to get rid of this arch thing in your way, so that you can jump with your proper arc to get to him. And it's just too long, and he should be able to do damage to you. So, like, this is an appropriate place to stage, but you either need him harder distracted than he was here, or you need to go, oh, I hate it, because this is bad too, and I don't want to get slept, that sort of thing, but now I'm going to come in here from a different angle still. Like, I'm not really a fan of this one, at least unless your team can give you a little bit more in terms of a credible distraction, and this might feel like a credible distraction with your Genji in the front line, but you're going to take an extra couple hundred damage here if you try this in a higher level game. Yeah. He just, like, he even tried, he just missed his shots. And your Winston, with a giant hitbox, he shouldn't miss his shots.
Barrier activated.
Okay. Yeah, so this is awkward. You went for this, you put your bubble here, and you do have to continue to threaten these guys. Like, you do have to continue to threaten these guys, see what's here to use it for. Can you use your bubble from here to get some value? And the answer is yes, because you did place this bubble. You do have to get value out of it. You're not going to be able to go pick a fight with someone new while your bubble's on cooldown. You're going to have to use this bubble to try to get the pressure value that you can on people. And you know there's no pressure to be had over here, so can we get some pressure over here? We get to see Monkey get abused in today's VOD review, sort of. Okay. Discord, we like Discord. Little sloppy with our ammo usage, yeah, and then we're more sloppy with our ammo usage. So this happens. Good. Fine. I like it. This I like less. Stop firing. He's gone. You heard him dash. He's gone. He's gone. Why are you still firing? Now you can be firing again, but that's just ammo that you wasted. Good. And why are we zapping again? What are we zapping again? Oh, the ammo. Okay. You just leave. You just gotta think ahead a little more here. I don't want to jump on this Soldier. You're about to use jump. He's about to get a mega health pack. And then a second and a half, 2 seconds later, you'll have bubble. Like, I don't really want to jump at a Soldier that I'm not going to finish off. Your jump is not going to finish off this Soldier. He's going to get to the mega. So why are you doing this? Like you know how this can go. If you jump, you can get punished here, and you do not expect your jump to finish him off. What I'd be thinking is I'm gonna just continue to walk after him. Yes, not doing damage, and he's gonna likely get this mega. And if this mega's not here, he's gonna continue running this way, and I'm gonna walk across over here and be ready to get him over here. Be ready to fight him with full cooldowns as he's trying to retreat to his team if I'm gonna do anything. Like, using your jump here, unless you know that this mega isn't here, this is kind of a feed. It is. See how you still don't have your bubble here? Full health soldier wrecks you. Full health soldier wrecks half health monkey that is a second and a half from bubble, has the health to step inside your bubble and finish you. Like, this isn't good. You can't afford to leap at this. You have to have your leap either to finish him or to get out. Okay. A little scary. You really played closer to that Reinhardt than you could afford to. His pin could have vacuum grabbed you. Sure. I'm not really sure that I want a barrier here. What are we blocking? This is just a generic bubble. You just generic bubbled for Genji earlier too. Your health is fine. Your health is fine, so what specifically are you blocking with this bubble? The Roadhog's already gone. What are we blocking with this bubble? You just went, I'm in combat, I should bubble. No, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. Bubble is for blocking specific things that you know you're blocking. Are you blocking a hook? Are you blocking a sleep? Are you trying to block the Helix rocket? Are you blocking shurikens? You could block shurikens. You could block soldier damage, but you're doing it rather specifically. You're doing it as you've established. This is where this is the fight thing, and I know that that is specifically what I'm blocking because I actually need to block those things to win this fight. You don't need to block those things to win this fight right now. You can literally just fight the Genji. You have friends around. You want to have your bubble. It's a pretty long cooldown for actually making a difference. You want to be conscious of what am I blocking and why when you use your bubble. Winston is a thinker, and he's not just putting his bubble down because he's in a fight. He's going, okay, if I can just absorb this on my health to beat the Genji, I'm going to do so. And in this situation, you absolutely can.
One for the archives.
And if it had been, hey, I'm dropping my bubble because it's specifically going to protect my Zen who went down to half or something like that, that would be fine, but you'd be blocking it actually on the edge to block your Zen like that.
Rally to my position.
Okay. So you went up. Probably what we'd do is we'd have put ourselves up here, but that's not the end of the world. It's pretty minor. You probably would have immediately had to drop. Yeah, I don't mind dropping the bubble here. The reality is we couldn't, afford to walk at her. We needed to go like this. We go, hey, that's the thing. We see it. We know Anna's coming. Sure, you shouldn't be walking at her. You know your deploy distance. You know she basically has to walk in. You dropping this bubble separates her from her Reinhardt. You drop this, and you swing to the side. You don't walk at her. That makes her sleep easier. You do this and swing to the side, and then you start zapping the purple Reinhardt, and she goes, I've got to walk in, and then she's in your bubble, and you're outside your bubble, and your bubble works. This... You always knew she was trying to walk forward. She was always trying to walk forward, and your bubble deploy distance wasn't going to work. Again, you have to be very conscious of what you're trying to do with your bubble, and I think you're dropping your bubble because it's like, hey, it's Anna, I know I have to drop my bubble to block the sleep, but how do you actually block sleep? She's not at the right distance, she's not moving in the right way for your bubble to block her sleep. So you have to either change where you drop your bubble or change how you're moving. You're sorry, by the way? Why are you sorry? Yeah, that's fine.
Would you like to donate your body to science?
Okay. Sure. And that was better. Like, you look at this, you go like this, and you go, ha, Hog can see me, I'm going to drop the hook. I might have dropped it like an instant ago, but this is good. I'm going to drop the bubble. It's at the appropriate distance, and now you're immediately sliding left, because if he'd been moving forward, your bubble would very quickly stop being useful as a blocking tool, so you're moving left so that you have it to dance with. Now, you didn't read where he went, and you actually kept drifting, and that's a problem, but so far this was pretty good.
Barrier activated.
Okay. Hog's not your target. Mercy is. You will not be beating Hog with Primal. He's too healthy right now.
I see.
Why are we zapping air?
Lost.
It's a lot of air zapping. Okay, there's some soldier zapping.
Enemies
But, like,
re-engaging.
you're using Leap with no bubble. What's your plan here? Fortunately, your Genji zoned them out. Fortunately, your Genji zoned them out. You don't really have much control over whether you live or not right now. Okay. Good. And that might seem harsh, like, what are you talking about, Temporal? It's a 5v1 type thing, but, like, if Soldier just stands here and shoots you from just outside your Tesla range, you don't know that your team's going to help you, is going to have the angle to help you, that sort of thing. You're going to walk at him and then fight him, but again, you were a monkey that's already missing health that doesn't have any cooldowns. Fortunately, your team, you know, Genji didn't come up and Soldier ran because he went, oh wait, this is a bad situation. Bad reload cancel. Your melee does cancel your reloads, remember. So melee weaving is great, but you don't want to interrupt your reload unless it's actually going to finish someone off. The air deserves it. You think Winston just likes his Bilbo zone? Could be, could be.
Watching your back.
Okay. Sure. Yep, works for me. That's a weird jump. You know he's weak, you're gonna jump on him. Fine. And we're leaving. Even out Winston zap air, Gator does occasionally zap air, it's true. Not for very long, for much less time than we've seen air zapping happen here. You're gonna turn them around? No, don't play corner. Yuck! Yuck! Is tickling this corner for 3 seconds worth putting your bubble on a 13-second cooldown? It's just not. Like, if your Zen hadn't gotten a pick here, and maybe you enabled your Zen to get your pick here, a little bit. But if your Zen hadn't gotten a pick here, a better team would go, oh, we can just push you. Like, we can literally just push you. You guys don't have bubble anymore, that sort of thing. This choke is an illusion of safety. So this isn't particularly good, and even if they don't push you, you don't have to wait 13 seconds hoping your team doesn't get picked off. I don't really want to wait 13 seconds hoping my team doesn't get picked off when we're playing into, you know, a team that has a Roadhog as Zen. Like, yes, you guys also have a Roadhog as Zen and a Hanzo, but I don't want to do that. If I open this angle, I basically immediately want to hop behind this team and start zapping them from here so that my team can push. Is my team ready to push? No. No, my team's really not quite ready to push yet. I need them to get a little closer, a little bit more ready, so I'm probably just going to wait 4 seconds rather than open this angle and drop the bubble. Because the thing is, I want to wait like 3 or 4 seconds. I don't want to wait 13. But in 4 seconds, I can leap to here, get massive cleave, turn these guys around, while my team walks into them, hits them with 5 orbs, that sort of thing, and they're very unhappy. But this isn't a play. A lot of downtime so far. Okay.
This will protect us.
Good. Sure, but this becomes a timing question. You're right to go out here, but your team's going to be passive, such as life. You have your bubble, so you drop it.
Barrier activated.
And now it's time to jump up to high ground. Up to high ground. Not out, not out. High ground is perfectly safe and will let you re-engage on these guys more cheaply, because you are going to want to re-engage on these guys soon. Fine. Okay, that's fine. Better to hold Primal there than to use it. I'm good with it.
The enemy is here.
Onward and harder.
If they had Diva, could I still jump high ground? She'd potentially boop you off, so you would have to think a little bit about, hey, what's the status of her booster cooldown? But it also depends on, hey, is her team pushing type thing? Like, yeah, you can potentially still do it. It's not great, but what you can do is you can go, hey, I'm going to jump high ground up here, then drop my bubble. Oh, Diva comes up. Let me scoot my way this way, or let me do this so that her boop is going to take me this way, not take me off. And then I'm going to eventually put the bubble between me and her and fight her type thing until I get my jump back and can leave or go up top or something. It's potentially doable. It's not amazing. It's got some risks associated with it, but it's better than dropping your bubble at the corner and trying to fight Roadhog and Reinhardt straight on. Like, that's not a thing that we're doing. I would much rather go up here and zap them from behind if they're Rein Diva, even if Diva's going to try to boot me down, boot me back, be in my bubble trying to fight me as I scoot out of my bubble. I would rather all of those things than fighting them here at the corner, yes. You could do what you did, which is jump through to here, but you sort of needed a bit of an opening to do that, and then circle through. That's fine. And then if she boops you down, will you immediately have your leap to get back up?
This will protect us.
I'm not going to object too much to this bubble. I don't like this bubble because this bubble, unfortunately, is putting you in a situation where you don't get a ton of value. Like, yes, this bubble is protecting you when you're terrified of taking a bunch of Zen damage, but also when you're terrified of a sleep dart hitting you. I totally get that. I'd have probably tried to greed this just a tiny bit more because you can't reach enough from here. It's so easy for them to get out. We need our bubble to protect us, yes, but we also need to be able to be getting value while in our bubble. Like, aha, you can't hit me with this. Yes, it's better to block a sleep dart, block a hook with your bubble. It absolutely is. But if you could be like, oh, we don't have our epic pen pulled up. Let's fix that. If you could be like 2 steps forward, or if you could drop and then drop your bubble, or, start to drop and then drop your bubble, anything, now you're actually in a range where you're threatening these people, you're making these people move, they're under pressure, that sort of thing. And in this case, it becomes a question of, do you greed the drop? The beginning of the drop, do you greed the 2 steps this way to give yourself an effective Tesla range, or do you not? Well, neither are great answers. Really, you need to be trying to set this stuff up in such ways that by the time this even resolves, you're always, like, by the time threats are paying attention to you that you need to bubble, you're already close enough to be doing work to them type thing. Or, okay, I zapped off the Genji and I immediately scoot out here to make them forget about me, and then I come back and it takes them a moment so I'm able to get close enough before Anna turns that causes me to drop my bubble. That sort of thing. Like in this situation, it was a zap Genji, leave, come back type thing. That's how this was. Or that's what this needed to be.
This will protect us.
She hasn't used sleep. That was very predictable. It's everyone's favorite ultimate. Everyone's favorite ultimate. No, it's okay. You just have to recognize that you have to have a lot of mobility. You have to have a lot of movement if you do feel the need to force your primal when she's still a sleep dart. It's a pain. Don't get me wrong. You're in a tough situation there, but you have to have movement, and she's probably not the target you go after because it actually gets pretty easy for her to throw you around if you go right into her face until you force her to miss her primal type thing. And going after someone else can pretty quickly force her to try to sleep, but you're generally going to be able to do a little better of a job of dodging the sleep in that case. Okay.
Re-engaging.
Okay, that's fine. You knew we didn't have hook. That was fine. Parts to rotate across. Why? Oh, you guys are all there? Cool story. Cool story. If I go back here and fight your supports, go back here, fight your supports without leap, like I can literally walk at them, drop a bubble, start zapping them, I bet these guys start to come back. And then you go, yeah, whatever, and you jump past their head and circle back here, and you're safe, and you've allowed your team to take space. Congratulations. You do not take space for your team by going, hey, let me push their front line back. Do you have a Zarya bubble that I'm missing? Do you have a Reinhardt that you're paired with that you're cleaving as he swings and you're protecting him with his bubble? If you had one of those two, you could potentially go, yeah, we're going to frontline fight. But Winston's standard for taking space is let me go threaten things from behind, or let me go threaten the back line, the squishies, to pull people back to react, and you can walk in to do this, so then you leap out sort of thing, and then because these guys pull back, your guys get to go forward to here. That's how Winston works. You know this. You know this. We're good. This is not how Winston works. I don't want to waste a nano Winston on Reinhardt. Like,
Feeling powerful.
you've been playing too much double bubble, man, and you don't have a Zarya. I do not want to be sending my primal Winston to zap Reinhardt. I might jump right into Reinhardt's face with the Zarya bubble and zap him and the three people behind him, but he's not really my interest at that point. I'm just getting him as part of the cleave. And, you know, I happen to zap him because he's in front and the enemy is tightly bunched together. I'm not actually trying to jump on and fight Reinhardt when I've got a primal. Like, primal is or nano is awesome, but you know, it's like, okay, 50% more damage, 60 DPS turns into 90 DPS. That's pretty darn good when fighting squishies without armor. When fighting tanks with armor that have 500 health, half of it armor, it's not so great. And like, you've reduced the damage that you take. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's less cool when they hit you for big swings that do almost a fifth of your health per swing. What's written on the cup? North American Title Company, which, you know, I suppose I should make them give me sponsorship money. No, I'm not going to do that.
This will protect us. This will protect us.
Okay, I got distracted by that. So you're here, you're asleep. You decide to go up there. You have a bubble, so I can live with that.
This will protect
But
us.
you put your bubble in a place that falls down. Okay. One would say the bubble placement was unlucky. They could.
Excuse me for.
I'm not a huge fan of the unlucky thing because, you know, you could have always done better. It way too often gets used when luck isn't involved. I get it's an anti-tilt thing, like, hey, if you say that, unlucky, or, you know, go next, that sort of thing, I get it, but we're a coaching channel, we're focused on improvement, what can you do better, not the...
Very regrettably, I consider progress.
I know, it's a bit of a move. Timberwolves coaching, just do better. It's a little more complicated than that. Okay, so here you are. You decide, I'm going to go up here. Okay, I'm not sure what for. You think you're staging? Yeah, you could go up here, but then as soon as you see there's someone over there, you have to leave. You don't have bubble or leap. You have to leave. This is not a good place to leave. You're literally right in the middle, so you're going to go there. You can't really challenge him. You lost too much health. Now we're getting some health. Interesting. You just aren't having quite enough awareness of what your resource status is. Like, you go over here, and then you go, oh, I'll go up and fight. Okay, but as you went to go up and fight, you went from enough health to go challenge the McCree that was up here earlier, sort of, to definitely not enough. So, like, now that you have bubble, I don't care, you're at half health and don't have leap, you can't challenge a McCree that's up here, or that you remember being up here. That's not going to work anymore. You didn't get healed enough to do that challenge, so this still doesn't work. Now maybe you think, oh, I can make this challenge because my Genji's up here, and I'm good with that, except that you didn't see him. Yeah.
This will
Okay. If you try to fight people when you don't have full resources, that means health, leap, and bubble, you have to know how you're going to get out.
escorting the payload.
Because at that point, you're not trying to duel, you're just trying to pressure them and then leave, and you're preferably trying to pressure them then leave in a way that's favorable to your team resource-wise. Okay.
You're powered up. Get in there.
You're gonna end up primaling? Yeah. Sure. I don't really want to fight here. So this would make sense. What you're going for right here is like max cleave Winston. There's a couple different ways you can think about Winston, and this is the type of Winston that comes out very frequently in Double Bubble, where it's the, I'm going to max cleave, I'm going to do a ton of damage, I'm going to find the most targets and just do damage because that's going to put the most pressure on the enemy team. And that's an option, but Winston is pretty fragile. He doesn't get to stay in very long, and you have both of your cooldowns. So if we instead look at this and go, hey, you're over here.
How embarrassing.
You have pretty good health. You have both cooldowns. You see that this just happened. You could go after their Ana, but I know that there's someone behind their Ana. I know that there's Zen's back there. And if I walk into the middle of the enemy team, I'm going to get shot by people who are outside the enemy team. If I attack the outside of the enemy team, or the back of the enemy team specifically, it's less likely that these people turn around and do help than it is if I go for this big cleave, this person will definitely help. You see how that works? So, like, if I had a ton going on here, if my team was doing well in this fight, or I had a Zarya bubble, sure. Max cleave, I like it. But do I want max cleave to fight two tanks, both of which have shotguns, when I could just go after a Zen, and I actually have the tools to duel a Zen right now? No. I probably want to drop this Discord and go after the Zen. Or I want to get out. Okay, you're going to drop the bubble and then get out. Fine.
60 seconds.
This will protect us.
You're mixing it up in the front line a lot right here. Like, you can bubble, I suppose, but I kind of want to leap because I have no interest in being here. Leap is a much shorter cooldown. You're dropping your bubble like you're going to win this battle on the cart here. You're not Reinhardt. I don't know why you think you're going to win this battle on the cart. I want to go somewhere else. I'm much more interested in, like, hey, I'm in a situation, I don't really like it. Let me just leap up onto something resembling high ground. Let me just leap to the outside of the fight. Let me just leap to a place that's right next to cover so I can scoot and go behind cover, regather my thoughts for just a second, and then walk back in and zap them from behind. Those are all more interesting to me than let me drop my bubble. This is my space and I claim it. No, you don't. That's a Roadhog and a Diva. Like, you're not going to fight well in the middle of that. Let's dive. Checks notes. Diva with self-destruct. Okay, so this isn't quite what we want to do. I'd really like you thinking a little bit more about the outside, the edges of the fight, not the middle of it. Like, I think you might be doing this because you have an Ana, because you're like, hey, nanos are cool, but you don't have nano right now, you don't have primal right now. No, thank you.
This will protect us.
Nearly? Good.
Unfortunate.
What? What? What is this? You can't just drop a bubble when the enemy is not even looking at you. No, like A, it's Diva. She's not that huge a bubble priority for you, anyways. What you do is you stay at basically your maximum Tesla range, zapping her as best you can, and then when she actually starts micro missiles, that's when you drop the bubble because it blocks the micro missiles and actually makes a few of them explode in her face. And then, of course, you kite out to try to keep the bubble between you and her. Like, yes, that is how you fight her, but like, she's not actually that high of a bubble priority in general for you, and you're definitely not going to do it before she's even looking at you. Your break from Overwatch might be a factor here. Okay. But this is something that you got to retrain quickly because you do not want to develop the bad habit of Winston of just going, I'm in the fight, instantly bubble. I'm in the fight, instantly bubble. I'm in the fight, instantly bubble. I'm zapping something, bubble if it's available. That is a bad habit for Winston, and you do not want that to stick.
Unfortunate.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Feeling unstoppable.
30 seconds.
I was a Winston man. You can call me a Winston man, sure.
Round 1. Ready for battle. Ready.
Okay.
Ready for battle.
So you guys finished. You finished with time. Now we are on to the defense.
5, 4, 3, 2.
It's true. I am harsh on Winston.
Attackers incoming. Defend.
I can be harsh on anyone when I feel like it. I've been not quite as harsh lately. I've been a little harsher in this review than I am in some, but this is also a 3400 game, so I don't really mind being harsh. This wasn't really a good place to set up to start, but we'll deal. What are you up against now? Zarya Hog? Okay. You just are heavy with that trigger finger. Okay. Ah, yes, the frontlining Winston battle. Okay, okay, the frontlining Winston bubble. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. We couldn't have just, like, chilled here and literally waited for them to start rounding the corner and then zapped them in the back, and if they turned towards us instead, well, worst comes to worst, we do exactly what you did in that direction and drop our bubble and zap them, or potentially leap out. Like, we could have done that from here, but we'd have had a much greater chance of being able to zap into their backline or walk into their backline after they were through. But okay, we'll deal. You like
This
being
will
very
protect us.
main tanky as a Winston, we'll say. Glad you guys enjoy it when I'm harsh. Okay, don't. It's nice that neither of them have armor. It is. Okay, the Zarya has a Discord. Fine. Have at it.
Barrier
76, reporting for duty.
Yeah, this is why I didn't really want to go here. You were always going to be jumping into the middle of the fight here. So here you are. You back out. This is solid. What would be even more solid is now I'm going to walk around and I'm going to zap their Genji, or I'm going to get on their Ana, that sort of thing. That would be more solid than what you're doing right now. When you do this, these guys are going to turn and fight you, and you don't have an amazing matchup with them. I get it. You're following the Discord. You're helping your support, so it's not like the worst thing in the world, but you're putting yourself here where You're definitely going to get attacked by all 4 of these people if you go right here. I don't really want to fight all 4 of these people. If I go fight Genji, well, Genji might get help, might not get help, but those people probably aren't going to help him. And if they do help him, well, that relieves pressure. If I go after Anna, I can win a 1v1 against Anna. Anna can't do squat to you except sleep. You have full health. You have bubble. Like, oh, hey, that could have been pretty great, and these guys now get no support. Now, might you lose your supports? You might, and that's a problem, but the reality is you're kind of already in a too far behind in this fight type situation. So, is this maybe the best of bad options? Maybe you'll be able to burst down the Zarya here, but this is just going to be messy whatever you do. Generally speaking, your plan is I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here, not I'm going to go fight tanks while they can do this. You could call what you're doing a counter dive here. Yes, that has some value. Yeah, like it's got value. It's probably even a right here. It's just not your normal thing, and you've been going frontline so much that I don't like it. But actually, in this case, it's right. I'll live with it.
Barrier active.
Okay.
Soldier 76 reporting for duty.
Yeah, you get blown up because of course you do. Like that was always going to happen. Like, this is, again, I'm much more happy to go supports. You're on your own. This is ladder. This isn't organized play. I'm going to go eliminate their Anna, and then we've got a chance to fight our way back into this point. Like, ugh. He's slowing capture progress by going against tanks. Sure. If he eliminates the Anna, if he drives back to Genji, eliminates the Anna, you know, whatever. Let's say he eliminates the Anna. He's actually got a potential real retake opportunity here with his team. But hey.
Onward and
That was kind of a loopy jump. Like, you can jump more directly than that and still make it. Why are you jumping? Genji can't fly. Why are you jumping so up like that as opposed to a little more forward? You knew where he was going. Yeah, now he's just getting more time for Mercy to heal him. You could have had this. That crispy air. And then you decide to reload. Okay. You have more aim than brain. Can't be Winston main. There you go. Okay. Are you going to slip up through staging there? No. Are you going to jump across? What are we doing? No. You're going to hold the corner. Okay. Yep. Reasonable primal. Even made something of it. No, he wins, he wins, he wins. Okay, Mercy let him go.
survival of the fittest.
3 HP. I love it. I love it.
That's fair. Pardon me.
Yep. Every single one of those things was necessary. Don't go for it. Don't go for it. Jump away. There you go.
I'm feeling unstoppable.
Well navigated.
Barrier active.
Yeah. Until then, anyway. So,
You're powered up.
you get your nano. You go fight. I like it. I like it. I know you don't have bubble, so you actually have to, like, ward people off from this cart rather than pushing up to the objective cart. Because now your cover kind of sucks. You're sort of in the middle of it. Yeah, you're going to drop this bubble, but I still don't think you hold out because your nano's about to wear off.
Barrier activated.
You got to leave. Oh, you have your delete back. You just don't leave. Why are you still here? Oh, no. That is not the right leap. You need to delete a good second ago. And you could have leapt a good second ago.
I've got you in my sights.
Further Experimentation
Yeah, so
required.
you're playing this a little too much like you can actually tank, and you don't have a Zarya to protect you. You don't even have a Diva to protect you. Um, you don't have a Reinhardt that you're frontlining to support. Like, you're playing this whole match really heavily in the front line, and like you can anchor serious spots in a serious way, and you really can't. So like when you're playing Winston Hog, you basically pretend that you're playing Ball Hog. It's every man for himself. Like that's sort of how you have to play this, where you're gonna go, I can sneak around, I can force people back. You can still do important main tank things to take space. We talked about it earlier. Circle behind to go pressure their back line, to pull people back, then leap out, that sort of thing. Like these things still exist, these things are still real, but you're fighting pretty heavy in the front line given that Hog does nothing for you in terms of protecting you. There's no DM to let you last a bit longer there as soldiers melting you. There's no Zarya bubble to eat a sleep or a break bash as you go in. Like, there's no Reinhardt shield or Reinhardt swinging that you're zapping through. Like, this is... There's not a great reason for you to be in the front line as much as you are. And to be trying to like hold corners against these heavier tank line. The only saving grace is that this heavier tank line doesn't have armor. Okay. Sure. Reasonable bubble. And you leave. Okay. You did this, you applied pressure, but you have to think about what you're accomplishing. So this is fine. You were clearing high ground. Now you're fighting these guys, and we have an immediate question of can you actually win? Can you actually win a 2v1 against these guys? And the answer is no. Like, maybe Anna's going to mess up and let you get her, but really the answer is no, you can't win this 2v1 against them, and you've already done what you were supposed to do. You've put pressure on them, you've gotten out cooldowns, so if you stay here, you're going to now start trading a lot of health. And for what? Are you going to get an elimination out of trading a bunch of health? If you do, it's totally fine, and we're good with it. But I don't think you're going to get an elimination here. I think we're instead in a situation where you've done what you were supposed to already. You've forced some cooldowns, you've put them under some pressure, you've made taking high ground hard, but ultimately, now you're to the point, your bubble's about to break, you're going to start trading health. I want to leave. I want to leave at this point. Now, you could say, no, I'm actually good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fight. I'm going to trade some health. I'm going to then just press S key, drop, and get this, and then hop back up and get an elimination. And I can live with that plan. But that's probably the only plan I see through here that isn't it's time to leave because, again, this is a 2v1 that your team can't help it. This isn't like super valuable in terms of, oh, my team is getting eliminations elsewhere. My team is threatening, pressuring while these guys can't do anything. Okay, cool. Tell me which fight is going on. Tell me which other fight is going on that these two would be helping in if you weren't fighting them right now. Not really. Not really. Maybe you have a little more. No, you don't really have Anna support. Yeah. Okay, and this was bad. This was bad because you stayed for basically the extra second longer than I wanted you to, and you went from about 400, 380 health down to 56 health. So now you are useless until you spend time going and finding health packs, or Anna takes her attention off the fight for about 4 seconds, at least 3 seconds, to get you healed back up to the point at which you're useful again. I would much rather you have still been threatening, useful, something the enemies have to consider, than you get an extra 30 damage, 40 damage done to the Genji and the Winston. You see what I mean there? Where it's like, it's going to take too long to recover from this, and this team is now more useful than you. Like, if you leave a second earlier, you've pressured in such a way that's good. You've used your bubble, but you haven't spent a ton of your real health, and it doesn't now take Anna's time or your time circling and fighting health packs in a super scared, tepid manner to get back into being a relevant threat anymore. Is Primal a good ult? Primal's a great ult. At higher levels. And this is a 3400 game, so we're at the levels where Primal should be being reasonably good. Yes. Good. I like it. I don't know that I'd be willing to jump her. Like, I'm just not even convinced that I'm willing to jump her without a bubble. Like, that's Anna. Oh, I don't have bubble, and I feel the need to jump right now? Then I guess I'm jumping up here and zapping her from above. Because, like, I don't wanna. You can't make me.
Excuse me for
Okay.
dropping in. Out.
What exactly? Soldier damage? Okay, but if you're dropping your bubble to block soldier damage, who can you now zap with this bubble? What is your bubble actually accomplishing? Like, yes, cool, you're not going to take a bunch of soldier damage. You know how else you could have not taken soldier damage? You could have just, backed up 2 steps. So what are you now going to accomplish with this bubble while not taking soldier damage? Because you're not zapping Hog or Soldier. Okay. And now you're in this, like, wait, I want to go in. I kind of have to go in. I kind of have to keep them distracted during this Primal or during this Blade so that my rest of my team can deal with the Nano Blade while I keep the rest of them from supporting their Genji or picking apart my team. But that's hard to do without your bubble. Okay.
Helden sterben nicht.
This will protect you.
I mean, that was a little sloppy on the Soldier. Just Primal mechanics. You don't swing. You know you can land on him. You absolutely know you can steer your Primal to land on him and then get your landing damage and your swing here. But you're swinging, so you hit him long before you had the option of landing. Yeah. Yeah, you're just holding down the swing button. That doesn't really work. When it comes to Primal, if we're trying to maximize damage, we jump at them. Well, it gets complicated. So there's a higher level of Primal that we're not going to talk about, but like for you, the next level of Primal is we're not going to hold down the swing button anymore. We're going to try to jump and land on them, and right as we land on them, so right as we land on them, next to them, whatever, and get that landing damage, and that starts to lift and throw them away, we hit our swing button, which also hits them, so then we got our landing damage and our swing, and then our swing will send them much further away, much faster, and then we go for our next leap, land, swing type thing. That's how we are going to think about this. There's a more complicated version of it that's higher damage, higher burst still, but like this would be better than what you're doing, because what you're doing is you're hitting stuff. Your primals are decent in custom games, but in game it all goes away. Just calm yourself down then. Calm yourself down. Don't rush it. It's not a big deal if you get blown up a couple times while primaling. Because your primals here you're constantly swinging, which means you jump at a target, and before you hit the ground, you hit that target away with your swing, so they go flying, and then you land, and then you wait on your jump cooldown, and you jump, and you hit them away again before you land, and you're just getting the swing damage. Yeah, there's enough Primal guys out there. I even have videos where I've done more thorough Primal stuff than I have in here. I haven't done like this is the Primal guide video, but I've done Winston or even Reinhardt reviews, I think, where we've gone pretty heavily over Primal mechanics. I don't think there's a need for me to go over them again here. I think there's enough guides out there. Okay. So this is cool and all.
Barrier up.
But you already have full health. Your front line is safe. Do we need to be fighting these guys? Could we go sneak up on the Soldier? I bet we could sneak up on the Soldier. Like, this is cool if you're trying to do maximum damage, or if you were trying to do maximum damage for the sake of charging your ult quickly. But your ult is at 13%. Like, your ult isn't even a consideration at this point in the fight. Cruising, cruising, cruising. Let's go attack people over here in the back of the fight. If we attack people here, they turn to shoot us, and the people behind were on their screen and they turn to shoot us. If we go over here, we get people that A, we can actually eliminate, and B, these people are less likely to notice and turn around and help sort of thing. And again, if this would be different if you needed the Transcendence healing, but you already got him. You're already full health. You're good. You're good. Oh, look. You got caught in a grav. Huh. Huh. It's almost like my plan would have avoided that.
The payload has reached
Okay.
Once more into the breach.
Brigitte at your service.
Okay.
this hand.
You're powered up. Get in.
Excuse me. So, here you are, fighting in the front line. Again, I would be so much more interested in, oh, I don't like this. The cart's all the way back there, though. The cart is all the way back there, so everything they do here doesn't matter. If I hop myself up here, walk through, and then go leap on the Anna. This whole frontline fight doesn't matter. Entire thing doesn't matter. Completely irrelevant fight if you go fight the Anna. Again, if you had this Zarya bubble, if you were paired with a Reinhardt, be a little different. Neither of those are the case.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Feeling powerful.
You just leaped deep and put yourself in line of sight of their Anna without your bubble. Okay. There it is. There it is. Knew it was going to happen.
I need healing.
I will keep you healed.
Okay. Sneak up, sneak up, sneak up along the outside. She's not looking. Middle of the fight? Outside of the fight. Back of the fight. You can sneak up on her. You can walk on her, zap her. You'll have your bubble back by the time you get to her. By the time she turns, she'll have lost a quarter of her health. You'll parry her bubble, her sleep with your bubble, and you'll take her out. I know, this is not your playstyle of Winston, but, like, you have to be flexible in your playstyles of Winston. Is Soldier a good target for Winston? Not Pocketed Soldier? Soldier is a target for Winston in the same way Soldier is a target for Diva. Sometimes you need Soldier to move. Soldier is in positions that are unacceptable to you, and you need to push him out of those positions for your team to be successful. And even though you're not going to eliminate him, and you're potentially going to trade health unevenly, you know, you'll do stuff like, I'm trading my bubble to make him leave. That's not a great trade. It's a trade that's necessary in a lot of situations. We don't want to jump at him and just, you know, give him 400 health. We don't really want to do that, trade 400 health for 100 health. But if we have our bubble, we can make him leave, and that's oftentimes necessary. So Soldier is someone that you have to make move. Now, you can also recognize openings. You can see that someone hit Soldier with Genji Shurikens. You can see that Soldier has a Discord and doesn't have heal station. You can see things like that, and then you can potentially try to jump on him and finish him, yes, or walk on him, zap him, and then jump on him to finish him when he sprints away, because again, doesn't have heal station. But Soldier is not someone that you're trying to jump on when they're full health. Of course, generally speaking, if you're jumping on people at full health as Winston, you're not actually trying to eliminate them. You're trying to synergize with someone like a Zarya, or you're trying to put pressure on the enemy team. You're trying to distract people to let your team finish people off, that sort of thing. If you're actually trying to eliminate people as Winston, you sneak up on them, you walk on them, you zap them, and then you have your leap available to finish them type thing when they try to run away. So there's different things, but yeah, sometimes it absolutely makes sense to leap on a soldier. It can absolutely make sense to leap on a soldier to try to finish him, but it can make sense to leap on anyone, including Roadhog, to try to finish him. Okay.
This will protect us.
I'm just not like, what have we accomplished with this bubble? Congratulations, we've dropped a bubble. Like, here we go. We try. Maybe we drop this bubble because it's already too late. Anna can already sleep us. But at the end of this bubble, what are we going to have accomplished? We've got 71 ammo. Hopefully we'll be able to zap a Soldier and a Genji for a while, who will definitely be getting Soldier healing station value. There's a Mercy right there who we won't be putting pressure on. We'll be getting some ult charge, I guess. We'll be distracting some healing attention. Not a ton of healing attention because this station is already down. We're not getting this station by using our bubble. This station is already down. So what are we accomplishing? Distracting a little bit of support attention. Distracting some DPS attention. Some. We're not really putting people low health. We're not dragging a ton of support attention or they lose these DPS or anything. We're not getting the healing station out. Could we have just left like a second ago? Not now. Now we can't because Anna's staring at us and can sleep us. So I get why you bubble, but like, could we have just left and been like, hey, I don't want to do this? Because again, I'm dropping my bubble. Okay.
This will protect us.
And now my bubble's gone. And how is the battlefield different? Did I put a lot of pressure on their team that is allowing us to get eliminations because the healers are healing Soldier and not healing, I don't know, Mercy somewhere else, Hog somewhere else, Zarya somewhere else? No. Did I get healing station out of Soldier because I dropped my bubble? No. Did I make Genji dash away because I dropped my bubble? No, not really. So, like, did I get a ton of ult charge? Well, I got some ult charge. That's okay. That's okay as an outcome. But this wasn't really, like, a good trade. Okay. You going for probably the Hog. You probably leap for Hog here. I know that seems wild, but I don't want you to get slept. You're not going to hit Hog permanently. It's just one leap at Hog here. Okay, we're going to try. Yeah. That's fine. I don't mind you getting hooked as much as I mind you getting slept for obvious reasons. Sometimes you getting hooked will then lead to you getting slept, but such is life. Basically, we wanted an unpredictable leap to sort of mess her up because she's likely to early commit to the sleep. But it's fine. Okay. Hammond, yep. So painful with that grapple cooldown. Okay. You're getting better. You're getting a little better at spin to win as time goes on here. Okay. No pile drive? Okay. Interesting. Okay. Extra time rounds, or extra rounds.
Attackers ready for battle.
Are you still with the Roadhog? You are.
Hi there.
Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
So you have Lucio Anna. Okay. Sure. Nice hard jump here. So this is like, I'm glad that this works. They're down one. You go in here hard. You basically have nothing you can do if this doesn't work out, but they're down one. Now they're down two, so this should work out. This is a pretty hard jump. Like, going for this rather than going, I'm going to jump up here and zap them, or I'm going to jump behind them and put pressure back here. I generally do these things when you don't have off-tank help, but you want to go this way. Okay. Good target selection. You say forget the Anna, the Mercy's the one I need. a lot of air zapping.
30 seconds remaining.
Tactical analysis suggests we're running out of time. Attack! I'm operating at optimal levels.
Watching your objective A captured. Escort the payload. 10 seconds remaining.
Nope, you leave, you leave. Circle, circle, circle! I know it's scary. I know it's scary. I know you're worried about the cart, but if you're going to win this fight, you have to circle over here and zap from here. You don't hurt him. Okay, whatever. Sure. That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. And this was always a likely problem. As soon as you heard the Valk activate, it was like, head on a swivel. Where is she? You have a very small window to knock her away, and she's doing a good job with where she placed herself to make that hard, but you at least got to try. Because eliminations or keeping eliminations permanent is way more important than anything else other than touching the cart right now. Like, this is not about max damage. This is about eliminations or keeping things eliminated in the case of res. Sure, sure. Now you're going to leap for damage. Leap for damage. Yep, fine. Hey, charge on CD. Electricity is in the air. It's true. It's true. Okay. Can we hold them back?
Ready for battle. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, the classic spray. Yeah, yeah.
Defend objective A.
Try to keep yourselves in one piece. I don't mind these rides.
Especially in these extra time rounds where they're going to have more mental pressure on them to just sort of go to point. You know, they could see you if you hop across, but they probably won't. And you can chill over here, walk up over here. If they do find you, you can leap out, but if they don't, when they start to push, when they start to round that corner, you drop down and are already on their back line, and they're like, wait, what? And they didn't see you coming or anything. Like, I wouldn't necessarily start over here as Winston, maybe as Hammond, but as Winston for a first round. But on these extra time rounds where they have shorter time, this kind of becomes a little safer because there's extra mental pressure on them to go to point with the short time. Again, you're just frontlining Winston. Like, this works if you're holding dive tanks against dive tanks, but I don't think you're playing Winston v. Winston right now. You don't hold corners like this. You hold... You know, you hold in places where you can walk past them when they go that way. Or you go, yep, that's nice, I'm going this way, type thing. Or, nope. Yeah, that's cool, I'm hiding up here, and now as you walk in, I walk in and start zapping the top of you, zapping your backline, that sort of thing. I don't want to, like, look at this, yay, you took 200, 300 damage, and you've done maybe 70 damage to Reinhardt. You don't take frontline fights with Zarya, and you haven't done this damage to Zarya. It's your team that's done this damage to Zarya. This isn't really a good trade, and now Anna has to pay a ton of attention to you, whereas their Anna can, well, she'll heal Zarya, but otherwise could be taking pot shots at your team. Like,
This will protect us. Hello there.
And then you feed and team is angry. Well, leap out before you feed. Okay. Okay, Mercy's gone. Sure, and now you walk on Anna, you have leap, and you're going to use it. What? What? I get it. You're doing the I'm gonna block Anna from healing. You know what else blocks Anna from healing? You know what else blocks Anna from healing? Uh, Jumping up here, eliminating these people, that can be fun, or at least pushing them out. Jumping on Anna and then, going, hey, I can afford to drop my bubble because even if I drop my bubble early and can't chase her far enough, she still can't heal, but I've put pressure on her and now I walk back in. Like, ugh. People overvalue the I'm going to put a bubble just to block Anna heals tactic. They really do. But, okay. Like, look at her team. Is Reinhardt almost eliminated, or is your bubble going to break before she really needs to heal Reinhardt? The answer is probably your bubble is going to be gone or broken before she really needs to heal Reinhardt. The I'm going to bubble to block heals tactic is a tactic when people are already weak. It's true. That is true, Carolina. Congratulations, you frontlined on Winston, and you lost to Reinhardt Zarya. I'm shocked. Shocked, I say. You didn't fight their backline as Winston. You didn't push DPS out of position who were on off angles as Winston. You mostly fought their frontline tanks as Winston, and you lost. Duh.
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
60 seconds.
Excuse me for interrupting.
Objective lost. Time to stop the payload.
I see now why I dropped back to Diamond and live here now. Yeah, all good. I mean, you'll get better. It's fine. You just have to, think about this a little harder in terms of who and why you're fighting. Okay, this is a little bit more interesting. Obviously, it's unfortunate you're purple. This is a little bit more interesting because you're like, hey, maybe I can get a finish. Obviously, he's already purple, so can't get healing. We're playing for our primal at this point, which is fine. Totally fine to be heavy cleaving these front people now that your primal is a real option. Unfortunate.
Victory.
Okay. So there's two things that we're really going to go over here. And the first thing I'm sure you get at this point is Winston primarily is designed to fight squishies. There's absolutely comps where he jumps into the front line and zaps hard, and that's mostly how people have been thinking about Winston in organized play lately, because the comps that he's used in organized play have to do with double bubble, where he jumps in and is trying to zap a ton of people with his thing, and he's actually going in hard specifically to feed his Zarya energy, to feed his Ana Nano, and to feed himself primal, and that's a thing in organized play, or if you had a Zarya plus Ana, that could also be a thing. Right now you only have an Ana. That can make sense, but the priority is let's make sure we're trying to get shot for our Zarya's sake in those situations. The other place he's seeing a lot of use is in 6-man comps, which are the Talon Dive comps, the Monkey Diva Moira Lucio type comps, where he's jumping and he's just going hard because his whole team is going, we have to end this fight. As soon as we start this fight, we have to end it as quickly as possible. We all go hard. Winston, get as much cleave damage as possible. Moira's just going to be spraying stupid amounts of heals on you, on the whole team, as we fight in a very small area and just try to wipe out their team as quickly as possible. So that's not like a precision exercise. That's to just slam them with the hammer that is Winston. See? We're talking about Winston, not Reinhardt, and we said hammer. Okay, so like those are the two comps in organized play where Winston sees the most use right now. And if you were playing organized play in one of those two comps, how you're playing Winston is reasonably good. But you're not playing organized play. You're playing ladder, and you're playing it without a Zarya on your team. You're playing it without a Diva on your team. You're playing it without a full 6-man comp that's just committed to, hey, let's go in together and just slam them. Even if they're a brawl comp, we'll try whatever. You're not doing that. So you're instead trading health unfavorably with Reinhardt Zarya, who are like the pioneer, frontier, whatever, brawl brawl tanks. Like what? No, no. That's not who we want to fight. And earlier they were Hog Zarya, which isn't really better. Like, okay, it's like, okay, Hog has a shotgun. We don't really like fighting Hog. So, no, we don't do that. You can go harder on your I'm going to just get massive amounts of cleave when you know you're going to get nano, when you know your team is set up, when you have a Zarya bubble, or when you have primal. Those situations allow you to just go harder for max cleave. Like, oh, I'm 80% to primal. I'm going to go in knowing that I'm going to get primal with this hard thing, and then I'm going to be able to second life it with primal and just do a ton of pressure on the enemy team, and my team is going to clean them up because we're just going to brawl hard between me spending most of my life plus my bubble, then primaling, all that, doing that and then getting whatever the case may be. Like, that can make sense, but that only makes sense when you start the engagement with like 80% to primal or having or 90% to nano or whatever the case may be. Like, those are what makes sense there. The rest of the time, use Winston to his strengths. We're going to push back Genjis. We're going to threaten wrong team. We're going to push back Hanzos. Not necessarily beat them. If we see that they're weak, we can jump on them and finish them off. We're pretty good at that, but we're going to push them back, make them give up good space so that they have less map control, so that our team has more map control. We might be surrendering map control on the front line. Let's actually go like this. Yeah, we might be surrendering map control on the front line to the enemy team. Let's say they have a Reinhardt here, a Hanzo over here, a soldier over here. But as we're surrendering this space, we're going to, and then let's give ourselves a mirrored Genji and Torb, because those are things that we had. And then we can put our Ana back here. We're surrendering space on the front line, but we're Winston, and we're going to push space back here and make the soldier go back to his team or back up a bit. So we're surrendering space here, but we're winning it on the sides against their DPS. Are we absolutely eliminating their DPS? Not unless there's already a discord or damage done to them or something like that, or our Genji's going with us, whatever. But even pushing them back is taking space from them, from the angles, from the flanks, from the other lanes, as their tanks push in. Alternatively, we can sneak our way around and go after their supports to potentially pull people back or to turn people around, which makes it really easy for our Torb to shoot them down from behind, our Ana to hit nades on them as they're not paying attention to her, our Genji to go, oh yeah, that's happening, now let me jump this soldier as he's turning around to try to peel for his Ana, that sort of thing. Like, that's how this works for Winston when you don't have stupid amounts of support being poured into you. So I really would be curious to see if your playstyle just naturally adjusted, if you had to play into like a Reaper, or if you didn't have the Ana on your team, if you'd instead had maybe like a Zen on your team instead of that Ana. I'd really be curious to see how your playstyle adjusted, because maybe you'd naturally go into the right playstyles here, but right now you're playing like you have Ana Zarya constantly when you only have Ana. You're playing like you have Primal constantly when you have 13%. Not, 85% of your ult here. That's the first major thing I do. I would literally go, hey, wait, what am I actually allowed to do? I'm not always allowed to hard frontline. I have to go fight for these a little bit more and fight for their backline a little bit more. The playstyle you have is a 100% valid playstyle that you have to remember how to do. But it's not your every time, every solution playstyle. And there were a lot of times it didn't make sense here. The second thing that I'd work on for you specifically is going to be you got to get your bubbles better. Your bubbles, you can tell me that they got sloppy, they used to be better, whatever, but you drop bubbles when you know what you're blocking with them. What you're blocking could be specific damage. It's not generic damage, but it could be specific damage. I'm blocking this soldier that's going to be shooting me for too much damage. This Genji that I have to do this duel because I don't have enough health to fight him without it. But you know what you're blocking, and you're not dropping it if you don't need to drop it, generally speaking. And you're not dropping it at corners. No. Okay. So in closing, where should he have switched to ball? Ouch! But there's some truth, Paul's good. Okay. I'll handle questions now, but if you guys are enjoying the content, please do drop a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. If you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below. If you're looking to get coaching yourself, join Discord in the description below, and it looks like I'm getting pinged for warm-ups. So let's do a quick look over at questions. Winston truly is a thinker, absolutely. In which situations can you call farm nano and take damage without damage just to get nano faster than opponents and win the fight off of that nano? Basically, first fight situations, when nano is going to be the first ult on the board, that makes sense. It starts making less sense later on when ults are messy and other people already have ults, that sort of thing. So basically, it's first fight type scenarios. You can do that. It's still not my favorite, and Hog is better at it than Winston. You can farm it with Hog and then give the nano to Winston, because Hog, you still get full ult charge for healing Hog, but Hog doesn't feed full ult charge for taking damage. So in closing, where should you have switched to Ball? I mean, if you really want to know, like, Ball is mostly just better, especially if Roadhog is your tank pairing. Ball isn't fully just better, but Winston needs something to enhance him, and Deanna helps, but probably was not enough. I'd have probably said the whole map. Enjoying the content a lot? No problem. Thanks for the review. Glad you enjoyed it. Might be bringing Winston VOD next to get roasted until my patch turns burnt master's colored. Nice, nice. Okay, that's going to do it. I've got a warm up to do, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks.